Okay. It is time for another one of these. One of these warm-ups. Yet another one. I am ready. I'm ready. Hey, Yaski. How's it going? It's Friday. Hey, Nefas. Welcome. Glad to see you here. Hey, Janae. Good morning, Janae. So you guys can think about the topic. Do you have one ready? Let's do some more dark fantasy stuff. Some fantasy topic, and I'll darkify it. Hey, Captain Boss, how's it going? Witch Hunter. That's a good one. That's a good one. Have you ever heard about this artist called Bjorn? What Bjorn does, he improvises music. So he has this machine. He beatboxes it and adjusts or manipulates the sounds and loops it. And he's like amazing artist.
You might need a tutor in order to just understand what it is doing. You see, I have a plan. My plan is very complicated. That's why I've made this, because there was nothing else that could do the shit.
He's really funny. His name is this. He's like a comedian, takes requests and makes songs up on the spots. People, let's say they say psychedelic funk, reggaeton, and he's like, all right, I'll make up a song, and it is usually quite funny. Hey, Mila, Zelin, how's it going? How's it going? Okay, so we got Witch Hunter, Steam Golem, Well of Souls. Any other suggestions for topics today? Would be very appreciated. Hey, Dr. Sheldon. Zelin and Mila. Ideally, fantasy topics, as in elves and wizards and demons and trolls. And Mila, you're doing Well of Souls as well. Oh no. You're hacking the system. How dare you? Viking wizard, and golems. All right. So roll the dice. It was number 2. Or actually, let's show it to you, so you can't claim it's number 3. 1, 2, 3. Well of Souls. Huh. Need to adjust the topic. Well of Souls. You're hacking it. Completely rigged. How dare you? Well of Souls. I could do a location, a well, or I could. Yeah. All right. I have a crazy idea. I'm gonna try to execute. It's gonna be a weird one. It's gonna be a weird one. Oh, rip Captain Boss. Hi Quentin, how's it going? Okay, so the picture in my head, I thought about the location, and I was like, yeah, that's a. Let's see. Yeah, so I thought like, yeah, a location would be cool, but not really in the sense like, oh yeah, environment prop. It is interesting to a degree for 30 minutes, you know. So I thought, could I maybe make a character which is a well of souls? And I thought, yeah, let's try that one. That's way harder. So what I came up with is kind of like a walking human well made out of bodies, and it having a core of energy. Kind of. I'm gonna see if I can execute it. Hey, Voodoo Breakfast, how's it going? Ice Die, how's it going? Spicy Latino, whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold your horses, people. Yeah, so that's what I'm gonna try to draw. This weird bunch of people, well, constructed out of humans, monster. Let's give it a sword. the soul, the Soul Reaper. Oh man, that's a good set of games. Did you ever play Soul Reaver? The vampire game? Did any one of you play that? Hey, Yusuzume. Good morning. Soul Reaver. Yeah. Yeah, it was a really cool world. They did, I think, 3 games, and the 4th one never went anywhere. Black Sun, I think it was called. Hey, Diesel Jesus. What? What a nickname. Diesel Jesus. What are you talking about? Do I ever, you ever do the vroom vroom? What do you mean? Noise sound effects or draw a car? A Voodoo Breakfast, Blood Omen. I'm not sure. Is Kane is Blood Omen. Legacy of Kane, yeah, I think it's Legacy of Kane. Legacy of Kane. Soul Reaver was 1 and 2, wasn't it? And then they switched to Legacy of Kane. Diesel Jesus. If I ever draw a car, yeah, I do. I've done it for many games. I think I drew some for Hitman. I drew some for Mafia 3. Helped out with Army of 2 machines. Crackdown 3 machines. Battlefield. I don't know. We've done a lot. Hey, So Called Me. How's it going? But the guys at the studio did most of the vehicle designs. I just kind of supervised, like a Quentin hero. A voodoo breakfast, yeah, something like that. Yeah. I actually had the pleasure to work on one of those vampire games, the Legacy of Kain. One of those childhood games that I absolutely loved playing and had the honor of contributing to. Hey Mila. Yeah, coffee. I had made coffee as well. It's a bit still too hot, but it's getting ready to be drunk. But it's fun to be able to contribute to a world that you enjoyed as a player, and then having the ability to contribute with actual designs to it. Zume, thank you very much. Yeah, it's a funny little series of sketches I've been doing lately. Ever since I went to this workshop called THU, I met an old friend of mine, Rafael Grassetti, who works on God of War. He's the art director there now, and he showed some work stuff from God of War on his presentation, and it just reminded me, and also another speaker who talked about staying true to who you are as an artist and so on, and it kind of awoke something in me, like, yeah, I should just go back to having fun in my comfort zone, and fantasy stuff is definitely my comfort zone, even though I can draw any topic. Drawing fantasy things, giving it a twist to my that I like giving it, like my own take on things, is definitely where I'm happy and comfortable. So I'm glad to kind of start going back to that and exploring, see what comes out, and it just becomes more autopilot, which is nice as well. It's all fine and good to challenge yourself with different techniques and different topics and random suggestions like today, but it all comes down to these warm-ups, is to just make sure that the creativity is there, and you're happy creating and feeling comfortable.
Yeah.
Hey, Ice Die, thank you very much for the support. Crazy night. Crazy. Thank you very much. It's truly appreciated, Ice Die. Atsuki. Yeah, Soul Reaver. I loved Soul Reaver. And also Legacy of Kain series. It's really cool. In this Legacy of Kain series, you turned into Raziel, the Soul Reaver. Hey, Eric Moy. The wall of warm-ups brings a tear to my eye. Makes me a very happy man. Look at all that support. Crazy. Crazy that you guys help me. Help me help you. Truly appreciate it. And it makes me very happy and proud. Proud of your progress, proud of our community, proud of people with sensibilities that respect each other, even though we don't necessarily agree every day. I think that's one of the most beautiful things, I think, observing some of your discussions on the Discord, that you don't necessarily agree, but you don't go out of hand and start wars, you know. Yeah, there was some heavier discussions at some point, but intellect prevailed, which was good. I was also very pleased to see. Eyes die. I have no idea about the specifics you're talking about, but I can look into it. What would be a Jewish-friendly option? What the fuck? Is Exola some sort of anti-Semitism company, or? Hey Gria, how's it going? Welcome back. I'll look into it, Einstein, by the way. I'll look into another option. There is this Swedish reggae or ska song, which is quite lovely. And one of the lines is, I'm crying, or what does that say? Like, I'm dancing and like something, like smiling in the rain, like dancing and crying while smiling in the rain or something. The song put it in words a lot better than I did, but the message is like, you know, like masking emotions and so on. It's quite powerful. So-called me, yeah, I did. I got third place in one of them. I did the background art for another competition. I joined the first one ever. Second one I also joined. Dominance War, I assume, right? So here you see, this was one of Joey Tribbiani. Here's some of the sketches. Whoa, go back. There's one of the, I think this was Dominus War 4. I did one earlier, and here's a background for the web page. Oh, no. For Dominus War 5, I did the CG Hub background details. I joined also Dominus War 3 and 2, I think, and the first one. Not sure. Gria, well, it's going to be a rolling, ongoing thing. It's not going to be any crazy deadlines on it. It's going to be like, whenever you have time, I'll help you push it, right? But it's going to, if you're going to join in, it's going to be a dedicated thing, right? I want to help you improve, and I also want to have you push yourself, right? Because it's going to be your hero card. It's going to be your, like, ideally your best illustration. And it doesn't need to be you in person. It could be any generic or any random thing. It could be fan art if you really love a certain IP, because it's not going to be sold. It's going to be used to showcase you, and ideally, an illustration that you can showcase about yourself. Um, so it's just think of it like a really illustration push, and we will use it as a representation of you as a supporter of the channel. So-called me. Yeah, Art War is the next version of Dominus War, I think, if I'm not mistaken. A voodoo breakfast. Just do it publicly in the hero card thread. Like all the traffic to that is going to help everyone else feel comfortable starting. And there's already a few that have started. And I'm going to take the time over the weekend to not have recorded feedback, but paint overs and draw overs and notes. I think that's going to be the majority of the feedback. It's going to be through notes and scribbles and paint overs to begin with, and then if needed, I can record it, or have some sort of event where I talk through them. But in general, it's going to be written notes or feedback notes, like on a picture. But yeah, that's cool. That's great. That's great. Like I said, it's just to see it as an opportunity to push an illustration with help from me, to help make just a solid portfolio piece that I will use then as a hero card to help promote you, because I will show it on the stream, the hero cards, when they're finished. This is supporter X, supporter Y. Thank you for the support and all that. And ideally, we can make some sort of little game about it. Or I actually found yesterday, on Streamlabs, I can also sell T-shirts and coffee mugs, and I think have your hero card on a coffee mug or a T-shirt. That would be cool. Of course, you have to buy it, but I don't think it costs that much. Oh, Bruno Romanos, how's it going? Long time that I didn't took my daily speed paint dose. Hey, Gaxix. Very nice to see you back, sir. Welcome. And that toothbrush. Whoop, whoop. How's it going, man? For everyone who doesn't know, that toothbrush is Daniel Matthews, and he was an employee at Opus Arts. He's really good at sci-fi stuff and photo bashing techniques. He worked at Division. I think that's his feather in his cap from the Opus days. He designed lots of stuff for the Division, and then he moved to CCP, designing spaceships, and now he's in Germany at Pixel. And he makes a podcast called Backwater Bastards, and he's also the organizer at industry workshops in London. So give him some love. Brutal. Yeah. Gaxix. Well, that's. I mean, you gotta think about number one first, right? Gaxix. If if your work demands you to focus on work, who am I to say no? You have to come and satisfy uh, my needs of a Gaxix industry. Yeah, Dead Toothbrush, aka, or rather Daniel Matthews, aka Dead Toothbrush. Great guy. Again, Backwater Bastards is his pet project, podcast, a D&D podcast where him and a couple of other artists are playing Dungeons and Dragons. I did a bit of fan art for it. It's good fun. Dead Toothbrush. I gave you mad props. I gave you like a 4-minute promo. I ran down the checklist of your accomplishments and how an awesome person you are. Gaxix, how's that actually going, by the way? All your comic stuff. You are published, right? You have a publisher, or you're self-publishing. Yeah, man. Looking forward to the weekend, actually. This week was weird. It didn't feel like a week. It felt like it was Monday all week, and now all of a sudden it's Friday. Very, very, very strange week. But I can't complain now that it's over. It's gonna be good. I think tonight I'm gonna play some games, and then weekend, who knows? Daniel Matthews for president. I think I'm gonna play. I am alpha tester on a game called The Cycle by Jaeger. I tried it a little bit yesterday. I want to give it a proper test, bugs and so on, if I find any. But overall, just kind of try to see where they're going. I mean, it's alpha, so for those who don't know, alpha is a stage of development where the features of a game will change, right? So let's say you play a game and it's like it's not fun. We need more to the game. Like we need to change up or delete some gameplay or delete a function of the game. That as long as the game is in alpha, you can change it dramatically. And when it goes to beta, you hear this term beta tester all the time, and that means all the functions are in the game to some extent. They can be unfinished. It can just be a placeholder, but it's called feature stop at a beta stage. So beta stage, you're trying to make all the ingredients work together rather than adding and removing ingredients. So adding and removing ingredients is alpha. Beta is like locked feature lock. The alpha is invite, sign up, closed alpha. It looked pretty cool though. It looked like a Borderlands meets raids, kind of. And the other game I'm gonna try to play is a game called Escape from Tarkov, which is insanely difficult. It's such a hardcore shooter, but the like I mentioned before on another stream, the sensation of shooting rifles in that game, it's uncomparable. It's just so good, and it's amazing, and you die so easily. You can die by a bullet. A single bullet can kill you, and it's this crazy scramble for loot and surviving, and yeah, it's fascinating. I'm close to rage quitting the game a lot of times because it's just so frustrating. I see that a lot of you like to play MOBA games. I've never gotten into MOBA games, to be honest. I've never. I mean, I back in the days of StarCraft and so on, but StarCraft isn't MOBA, is it? It's RTS. Oh, you played Escape from Tarkov, yeah. What did you think? That's great, Gaxix. That's cool to know. Thank you. Thank you for taking the time to answer that question fully. Appreciate it. And I wish you the best of luck, Gaxix. If you disappear again from the stream, if you get too busy, I wish you the best. So-called, so-called me, yeah, man. I think, in a way, that's the dangers of games. Is there's such a massive time sink. When I was freelancing, um, a few years ago, I regarded gaming as a reward. Like when I finished my 8 hours of freelancing, like okay, one more hour of hard focus, come on, I can do it. And then I know like I'm gonna go buy beer, I'm gonna play some video games. And that was like my carrot. Ice Die. Have a great Friday. Thank you for joining. His Gaxi says Captain Boss he has a French publisher. Label 619 Ankama. A voodoo breakfast. Yeah, exactly. You can't. For me, it's like yeah, it's super fun to play, but I can't warrant like skipping school. In that sense. I know it's like, oh, if I play for the whole evening, it means I'm gonna have to do twice the work tomorrow, and it's like, oh, all right, I'll do the work, and then usually what happens is I do the work, and then I just don't want to play a game because it's late, and I'm gonna be like, I mean, if you're gonna play an adrenaline-filled game like Escape from Tarkov at 1 a.m., it's just you're not going to bed. You're gonna be full of adrenaline. Dead toothbrush. What I figured out is if I stay away from lactose, it has rebuilt my immune system so I can have normal beer now. It's like removing a point of inflammation so I can deal with a little bit of normal beer. But I'm gonna now try to stay away from it, drinking beer, because it's also an allergen or a point of inflammation. But I can deal with it now that I cut out lactose, but it's still not good. So I'm gonna, but I can enjoy a beer, normal beer. Zealand, yeah, absolutely. I think that's so dangerous. These mindless time sinks. Like my son loves playing games, but I always tell him, like, when you walk away from the console, you have nothing to prove what you have done. You have accomplished things in a digital world that you can't take with you. And I told him, yeah, it's all good that you play, but you also live in a world. You know, you have to be able to do things that exists, to be proud of, to be able to show to someone, to share with someone, because you can't share it with someone when it's locked inside the device. And he understood that aspect. Captain Jetlag, yeah, welcome to the end. So-called me, he got a computer now, so he's already migrating over to Master Race, PC Master Race. All right, let's see, who can we raid? Give some attention to. Don't talk. Miller Finn is doing a censored drawing. We haven't. Let's raid him. Let's raid our good old friend Miller Finn. Exactly, Gria. All right, the stream is ended. I have to go back to work. Contracts won't wrap themselves up. I have to design shit for a lot of different games. As always, a massive pleasure to hang out with you in the morning. And Ice Die, thank you very much for the subscription. Super appreciated, and for all the follows. You guys are great. Have a great Friday or good night if you're in that part of the world. Have a great one, people. See you on the weekend. I will most likely stream.